Hey, I'm David Lee. I'm the Vice President of the Outpost Natural Foods Board of Directors and the Chair of your Nominations Committee. I am here with Eno Meyer, one of your candidates this year to join your Board of Directors. Eno, can you tell us why you're running for the Board of Directors?
Sure. One thing, the reason, well, first and foremost, I want to serve. I want to give back to the community. And the reason why I want to do this with the Outpost is because I just love how Outpost is really great at being. Is not just stating their mission and values and all those beautiful things, but it's actually, they are their values, their mission. And even before I ever checked out your website, I had an idea what Outpost was about. But as I prepared for this interview, I said, oh, I better double check just to make sure, right? And I went on the website. I'm like, oh, I was right, because you do it so well. It's about community, quality of food, diversity, quality, everything. And you can see it when you walk into the store and the role they play in the community. Outpost is not just any grocery store. You support local farmers, even nationally. You can get things from small farmers and small food producers, breweries, all over the United States, not just Wisconsin. So it's just fun. I feel like happy when I walk into the Outpost store, and thirdly, I believe there's so much I can learn from also serving. The best way to learn is to give and be in the community. So I feel like this would be also an opportunity for me to learn a lot more about Outpost and how you operate and make it work.
Thank you. You answered this a little bit, but can you tell us why you became an Outpost owner?
Oh my gosh. Oh yes. When I'm Nigerian, so I moved to the US years ago for college. And I remember just being overwhelmed when I went into the cafeteria and there were 3 versions of milk. So that really was like mind blowing for me. And after graduating and I moved to Milwaukee, I worked down the street at a nonprofit. And so a lot of people would walk over to Outpost for lunch. And I remember walking in there and just feeling like, oh, this is nice and cozy and not an overwhelming grocery store with so many options. And for the first time, I discovered organic milk. So I was like, what is organic milk? So I tried it and I was like, oh my God, that is real milk. That's the real milk that I drank back in Nigeria. And it tastes like milk. And I was like, whole food is like, this is what this is about. And I became a member and I shopped. I wouldn't go back to non-organic stuff ever again. And it was just mind-blowing that, because at first I was very hesitant about it. I was like, oh, more options. But then discovering that organic is really whole food. It's really what the natural way your food should taste and be. And that's why I joined, was milk.
That's great. Last question. Can you tell our owners about something that you believe in passionately?
Oh my goodness. I believe that we should all be feminist. I know, especially men. I feel like, men should be feminists. Women, we already are, we all have that feminist and feminine part and masculine part. We have the X and Y, whatever. Yeah. It's the science behind it. I don't know. I don't know much about the science, but I feel like in this journey of humanity, it's important that we are all one. The feminine and the masculine should all be one. I don't believe in toxic masculinity or overwhelming femininity or anything. Just a nice balance would be great.
Great. Thank you so much for joining me and for sharing a bit of your story, For all of our owners out there, make sure you learn more about all of our great candidates at www.outpost.coop/vote. And be sure to vote when the 2-week election period opens on March 18th. You can vote online or in person at your local Outpost store. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. I'm David. I'm the Vice President of the Outpost Natural Foods Board of Directors and the Chair of your Nominations Committee. I'm here with Jenny Keefe, one of your candidates this year to rejoin the Board of Directors. Jenny, can you tell us why you're running for the board?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, David. So, I'm a social worker by day. I think I was raised to be a social worker, and I'm just a natural social worker. And I work in Milwaukee, and I oversee a couple programs that help people to get employment, education, housing, and healthcare support to really try to stabilize them, to prevent them from having their family separated and transition to foster care services. And I see racial disparities over and over again in literally every aspect of our community. Milwaukee's the worst. It's rated #1 for so many things that we don't want to be rated #1 for. And so I initially wanted to be part of the board to provide insight that I had and that I know based on the work that I do in Milwaukee, but I really wanted to connect the programs that I work with and the people that I work with to healthy, healing food. But now that I've been on the board for a few years and I've been the president of the board, I really have seen that we can have a much bigger impact, and that my interests are and my expertise match what the board does, but that there are so many people that we work with that can have a huge impact, and that we already do, but we have a lot of work to do. And so I'm running for another term to continue leading the effort to redefine our mission at Outpost to be more diverse and inclusive. And we have a long way to go, and we just got started, and I'm committed to making sure that we don't lose momentum.
Can you tell us why you became an Outpost owner?
Yeah, so I became an Outpost owner initially because I wanted to support a place that just brings me so much joy. When before the pandemic, I would go into Outpost and it just was my happy place. I felt so much peace there. But the more involved that I've gotten with Outpost, the more proud I am to say that I'm an Outpost owner and that I've been able to represent owners on the board these last 3 years. Outpost is really a leader in the cooperative world, and I wasn't really aware of that until joining the board. But I did know how much impact the Outpost has on our community. And that's because we have strong leaders that understand how important it is to give local vendors an opportunity to partner with Outpost. And in reality, I know how much organic foods can help us to heal and grow, but being able to support local vendors is most important to me, and I think has a much greater impact on our community. And I know that when I shop at Outpost, I'm investing in my community and my family. I have a 13-month-old daughter who I can't wait to take to Outpost. It's really heartbreaking. She's never been to one of my favorite places on earth because of COVID and the pandemic.
Can you tell our owners about something that you believe in passionately?
So I mentioned I'm a social worker, so I'm really passionate about a lot of things, probably to a fault. But in reality, there's nothing more important to me than raising my daughter to be a compassionate, strong woman that is going to be a person that is helping to heal other people. Connections with people are how we grow and what sets us apart as humans. And I'm committed to helping her to be somebody that is going to say hi to the person on the street that looks like they need some help, to be somebody that recognizes when there's racial disparities in our community, and just being a good mom to her is something that I'm really passionate about. But there's a lot of things that I'm passionate about, again, because I'm a social worker. So if you're interested in learning more about me, you can go to a website I created for my candidacy, which is elect Jenny Keefe for Outpost.com.
Thanks so much for joining me, Jenny, and for sharing a bit of your story with our owners. Owners, make sure you learn more about all of our great candidates at outpost.coop/vote, and be sure to vote when the 2-week election period opens on March 18th. You can vote online or in person at your favorite local outpost. Hey everybody, I'm David. I'm the Vice President of the Outpost Natural Foods Board of Directors and the Chair of your Nominations Committee. I'm here with Lori O'Loughlin, one of your candidates to join the Board of Directors. Hey Lori, can you tell us why you're running for the board?
Thank you. I'm interested in the board because I am somebody who really likes to be involved. I like to align myself with people who have like interests. And I really am a believer in healthy food for all, but also equity, diversion, inclusion. And I want to offer as much as I can and give back.
Can you tell us why you became an Outpost owner?
Along the same reasons, I think it's a great store, and I just think it's a great mission, and I like what's offered, and I'm really interested in health and wellness. It's part of the job I currently do, and so I would like that information, or to help get that information out to everybody.
That's great. Can you tell our owners about something that you believe in passionately?
I believe in a lot passionately, but I would say probably the biggest thing is that everybody should be treated fairly, with dignity, and with respect. And I don't feel there is any reason why anybody isn't entitled to that. And I'm very passionate about trying to help others understand that.
Well, thanks, Lori, for joining us and sharing a bit of your story with our owners. Owners, now it's up to you. Make sure you learn more about all of the great candidates at outpost.coop/vote. And be sure to vote when the 2-week voting period opens on March 18th. You can vote online or in person at your favorite Outpost store. Hey everybody, I'm David. I'm the Vice President of the Outpost Natural Foods Board of Directors and the Chair of the Nominations Committee. I'm here with Mark Sira, one of your candidates this year to join your Board of Directors. So Mark, can you tell us why you're running for the board?
I viewed the Outpost over the past 5 or 6 years as a community innovator and educator, and I thought that was very admirable. I have more time available to spend on advisory roles, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to start that locally and give back to the local community.
Can you tell us why you became an Outpost owner?
I like the concept of the focus on sustainability and natural content, and the Outpost concept seemed to fit really well with what I like. Became a lot more attractive when they opened the Mequon store, which is a lot closer to where I live, and I just think there's always things to learn and interactions to have every time I visit. So that's really what attracted me.
Can you tell our owners about something that you believe in passionately?
I believe that our country needs to and is on the right path to become sustainable in a lot of the different activities, such as vehicle transportation, public transportation, the value chain and supply chain for retail industries. And, I'm active in many of the national committees that are putting things in place to make renewable energy easy to install and cost effective. And I was looking to the future to try to make sure our country can become carbon neutral and in the next 10 years, realistically. Thanks.
Well, Mark, thanks so much for joining me and for sharing a bit of your story with our owners. Make sure you learn more about all of the other great candidates at outpost.coop/vote, and be sure to vote when the 2-week election period opens on March 18th. You can vote online or in person at your local Outpost store. Hey everybody, David Lee here, Vice President of the Outpost Natural Foods Board of Directors and the Chair of your Nominations Committee. I am here with Michelle Prosek, one of your candidates this year to join the Board of Directors. Hey Michelle, can you tell us why you're running for the board?
Yes, I can actually. Hi everybody, this is Michelle Prosek, and I am already one of your board members. I was lucky enough to get one of the positions that came open last year, but it was only a 1-year interim term. And so now I'll be running for one of the actual 3-year terms. I've had a lot of really good experiences and gotten a lot of really good education and training while being on the board this year. And I'm looking forward to putting that experience to good use now in the next term.
Can you tell our owners why you became an Outpost owner?
Yes. Well, actually, I mean, it was kind of a long road for me. I've been living in a variety of places. I lived in River West for a while. I lived down on Wisconsin Avenue, so I visited the Wauwatosa site. And then I've lived in Bayview for the last 20 years. And when they opened the store here, I shopped here for a long time too. I would, make contributions to a membership along the way, but I finally pulled the trigger about 4 years and became a full share member because I realized the value that the store provided. I'm more of a small store shopper than a big box shopper, and I really became enamored with, all of the great products at Outpost and just the message and the commitment to the community. So that's why I became a member.
Can you tell our owners about something that you believe in passionately?
Yes. Actually, I'm really passionate about community. I believe in the power of many is greater than the power of us as individuals. And actually, I believe in really good food, and I believe in healthy food. And the mission of Outpost fits all of those things, right? They're definitely all about good food and healthy food. They're also really about community, and they believe that they're more than just a grocery store for the community, and their mission is very clearly built around that. So I've been passionate about Outpost. I've been passionate about it as a shopper, and I've gotten more passionate about it, learning more things about it while being on the board. And I'm hoping to bring some good experiences. We had a really great year this year from an engagement perspective. I've been on the chair for the engagement committee and the engagement committee is responsible for reaching out to members. And we had a really good response to our engagement event this year, and I'm looking forward to bringing that experience forward into the next term. I hope you vote for me.
Thanks so much, Michelle, for joining us and sharing a bit of your story with our owners. Owners, now it's your turn. Make sure you learn more about all of the other great candidates at outpost.coop/vote. And be sure to vote when the 2-week election period opens on March 18th. You can vote online or in person at your favorite local Outpost store.
Thanks, David.
Hey, everybody. I'm David. I am the Vice President of the Outpost Natural Foods Board of Directors and the Chair of your Nominations Committee. I'm here with Young Kim, one of your candidates this year to join the Board of Directors. Young, can you tell us why you're running for the board?
Well, I'm running for the board because I've been on the board for 6 years, 2 3-year terms. And the first term you spend really learning the job. The second 3-year term you spend really starting to apply what you've learned and some wisdom that you've accumulated. So, the next 3 years, if I'm elected, I would really like to make an impact on the board of directors for Outpost, especially since we have probably just about the most diverse board that Outpost has ever seen. It's one thing to have people at the table. Now we're talking about interculturality, how we work together, how we communicate, some cultural expectations that we all bring to the table. And we're going to be working with a consultant on diversity and inclusion. And, I really want to be present for that conversation. and to leave the Outpost board and Outpost in general on really solid ground.
Can you tell us why you became an Outpost owner?
I became an Outpost owner because Milwaukee is such a unique city. And, in this day, nowadays, you buy a fast food hamburger in Boston and a fast food hamburger in LA from the same chain, and they're going to both taste they're going to be identical. Milwaukee has a lot of jewels that are unique to Milwaukee, and Outpost is one of them. There is only one Outpost in a sea of chain competitors. You really get to vote with your fork. And even having moved to Bayview from Wauwatosa recently, there's diversity within the stores as well. The Bayview store has a different flavor. It's very Bayview, I think. And the Wauwatosa store is very Wauwatosa. So, it is a reflection of the people. And that's what co-ops are.
Can you tell our owners about something you believe in passionately?
Milwaukee has glittering possibilities and also has enormous inequality. We will never reach our potential until we address some of the inequalities in our city. That's what's holding us back.
Well, Young, thanks so much for joining me and for sharing a bit of your story with our owners. Owners, make sure you learn more about Young and all of the other great candidates at outpost.coop/vote. And be sure to vote when the 2-week election period opens on March 18th. You can vote online or in person at your local Outpost store.